Hi, my name is Kayla Cole, and this is my presentation over unhealthy sexual dynamics um, that are throughout the show Shameless. In the show Shameless, sex is a big theme that is carried throughout the show. The main characters, aka the Gallagher family, are usually practicing sex or at the bare minimum, at least talking about sex. The main characters, which include Frank, Lip, Ian, Debbie, Fiona, and many more, have all been a part of unhealthy power dynamics sexually. Um, Throughout the first few seasons, for example, Ian is in an ongoing sexual relationship with his boss at the bodega. This in itself is already an abuse of power because he is his boss. But then when you factor in the account that his boss is 30 years old and married to a woman, it makes the situation a lot messier considering Ian at this point is only 14 or 15 years old. Ian at this time is going through his own sexual journey and self discovery because he is coming to terms with the fact that he is gay, and his boss is able to take advantage of this and use it to his benefit to get a young minor boy to do sexual things with him that his wife would not, because he is basically living a lie in a heterosexual marriage when he is in fact a homosexual man. To convince Ian he wanted to be sexual with his boss practiced sexual coercion. According to our book, around 30,000 gay college men are the most likely to be targeted in sexual coercion or victimization. When you add in the fact that Ian is not a college male and is under the age of 18, living in a poverty-stricken neighborhood in Chicago, his chances to become a victim of sexual abuse, especially abuse of power, is a lot more likely. His boss takes Ian as an easy victim and is able to groom and convince Ian they are in a monogamous homosexual relationship, even though they are not. Because of their power dynamic and their age of the relationship, it's purely a case of sexual harassment. When there is a power imbalance, it's a difficult situation. Power is a prevalent factor in any relationship. Dominance and control happen in every relationship. Another uneven power dynamic is another uneven power dynamic is perceived sexually is the relationship between Lip and his college professor. In season 4 and 5, Lip is getting his life together. He is going to college. He has made it out of the south side of Chicago and is getting a college education, which not many people in his family have done ever. So when he walks into his class and is immediately taken under the wing of his female professor, Lip is assuming that he's going to be getting special help or treatment and guidance from an educated and alumni professor. Then one day she takes him into her office and breaches her power and demonstrates an abuse of power. Even though it is consensual sex, in the aspect of him being 18, his professor has displayed an unequal power dynamic. She soon starts taking him to art shows and introducing him as a friend, even though behind the curtain they are demonstrating a sexual relationship. So that's how you know in her mind she understands it's an unequal power dynamic, because she's not introducing him as her boyfriend but as her friend. He falls in love with her soon after this. He is enticed by the unequal power dynamic. He's finally met an educated older woman when he's used to being the most educated person in the room many times. So she is able to take advantage of this. It's a matter of power. She uses her position to coerce Lip. She has a habit of sleeping with her students, so it's not like this is the first time it's ever happened. Extreme predatory behavior on her part. In the show Shameless, all the Gallaghers act out their parental issues in one form or another, usually in sexual pursuits. Lip never had a mother figure, so he was drawn to his educated, scholarly professor. And so when in season 6, when Lip's ex-girlfriend exposes his relationship with his professor, the professor drops him immediately, leaving Lip saddened. Lip then spirals into a dark space where he uses alcohol to cope, whilst the professor merely moves on with her life casually as if nothing happened. He then starts self-destructing because he craves this imbalanced relationship. He becomes a drunk, drops out of college, and never really has really been the same character since because of this sexual power dynamic. While a lot of the Gallaghers are victims in these unequal sexual dynamics, Frank Gallagher, their father, finds himself practicing one of his own. In one of the seasons, Frank finds a young female at the hospital who had just been diagnosed with terminal cancer. Frank unintentionally displays unhealthy power dynamics by taking advantage of this young female and her declining health. He believes he is in love with her, but because of her ill state, he is able to persuade her away to run away with him. Their relationship is filled with explicit drug usage because Bianca, the young female, is distraught over her diagnosis. Frank is able to use manipulation to make Bianca believe she is better with him as she spends her last few weeks alive. Manipulation is a strategy used to get one's way. Frank sees a sick, beautiful, drugged up, weak-minded female and preys on her. Manipulation includes making a relational partner feel guilty for something. Frank is able to manipulate Bianca by saying, if you're going to die, you might as well live it up with me, who just wants to do drugs and drink their sorrows away, rather than seek treatment for her declining health. Because because of her because of this, she is able to be coerced into an unequal power dynamic with Frank. Another example of Frank using unequal power dynamics is when he comes to find his estranged daughter, Sammy. Sammy is introduced in season 4 after it is revealed Frank is dying of liver failure. He is seeking a liver from anyone, so he starts a scheme to get a liver from her. Posing as a down-on-life guy, he uses manipulation to grow closer with Sammy. He flirts with her and even kisses her to grow them closer. This only happens because Sammy has no idea they are related. Frank then commits himself into a relationship with her just to tell her his bad news about needing a liver, and seeing if she would give him hers. Frank has no moral standing to receive what he wants. Knowing Sammy is desperate for a relationship because she never had a father, Frank is able to use that to his advantage to receive what he wants. Although they did not solidify their relationship sexually, Frank uses sexual tactics and attitudes to get what he wants from her. Power in sexual relationships comes from an ability to make empowered choices about them. When one feels trusted, protected, and valued, it is obvious you are in a healthy relationship power dynamic. The show Shameless shows unhealthy power dynamics and that they often prevail constantly. While power is ever-changing, negative power can be displayed in a few simple ways, such as demand and withdrawal and fear and shame. Power can be defined directly or indirectly, and many use sex to gain power. And they also use sexual behaviors and attitudes. In the show Shameless, unhealthy sexual power dynamics are often used. Thank you.